Okay, good morning. After all the presentation, I have to show this excitement here, right? uh, First of all, I'm going to be talking a bit. I have several hats, and this one here, I'm the advisor for the National Confederation of Municipalities of Brazil. And the reason why I'm going to be starting talking about the Confederation, because I see the Confederation as a good tool for our process of new mobility. Okay, let me see here if I'm going to be able to operate this. Okay. First of all, everybody's been hearing about Brazil, and also people saw those meetings with our president being the star of Obama being talking to our president all the time. Brazil's population is around 185 million, the fifth largest country in the world, globally 10th largest economy. As you can see, Brazil suffered a little bit less than the countries out during this crisis, which at some point is working a little bit against us in this transportation field. And I'm going to mention why. Because credit, that means it's easy to finance cars. And then also talking about, when you talk about new mobility, you have to think about the cultural issue about that. Because car is status. If I have a car, I succeed in life. I'm a successful person. And depending on the kind of car I have. Then you have to think about the change of behavior and look into that. This is something I think is very important to talk about this financial status or improving quality of life in terms of financial, creating facility for, we're not much different in North America because we have student loans that have more interest than financing cars, right? That means we have similar things here. Okay, next slide. I just want to talk about a bit about the Confederation of State Municipalities, which is a very powerful, it's an NGO, but it's a very powerful NGO in that sense, because the whole support comes from fees paid by municipalities. And we, as you can see, it's a small picture in the left side in the corner there. All those people are mayors and councillors in a march that we did in July, all in Brasilia, which is the capital. We can have the power to mobilize already 3,000 mayors to march to the capital for a particular issue. And that's what I'm saying, that's the power that we have. That's why I started being associated with the Confederation. I think it's very useful in that change. I've been working for years in Brazil in piecemeal work in different municipalities and different regions. But then I found a way where I can make a biggest impact, putting less energy, right? And then we have 27 regions entities that are partners of us. We have 230 micro-regions entities that coordinate some of these other regions. And Brazil has 5,563 municipalities. And 3,500 are members of the Confederation. That means we have in 24 hours, I can get a message to the 5,653 municipalities in 24 hours. I can mobilize mayors by phone calls. We have 250 employees working in the Confederation. It looks like I'm doing a propaganda here, but I'm just trying to see, this is a model that can be used in other countries, using associations and networks, because I think the key here is networking partnerships that we've been talking about. The difference about municipalities in Brazil is we have this federative pact that gives powers to municipalities. The municipality has a lot of power to control its own life, right? Its own life. Local governments in Brazil normally have more responsibilities than public resources are enabled to provide to them. That means we have all these responsibilities, but the transfers from federal government is not sufficient for to do any improvements. Then the municipality's responsibilities is primary education, health, services, water, public illumination, social assistance, infrastructure, environment, and security. Okay, the Brazilian reality, you hear about Curitiba, you hear about São Paulo, all those big mega cities in Brazil. But 90%, 90.5% of the municipalities in Brazil are less than 50,000 inhabitants. That means you also have to think about mobility in rural areas. And that's not touching the Amazon. I just came back, 3 weeks ago we had a summit, the Amazon Summit. It was the first time we're going to be included in the discussions in Copenhagen, the CO15, the COP15, Amazon be included in the agenda. It's quite amazing, right? You've never been included Amazon in the discussion of climate change. And then really involving, we have this summit was organized by the Confederation of Municipalities. And this is amazing because it was just a dinner, talking with some few people last February when I was in Brazil. And we are able to do the summit. It was crazy, but it happened. And I said, because when you see the power the Confederation had to bring those municipalities together. And they were able to get representatives for the 9 countries that share the Amazon. And we developed a charter and also recommendations to go with this charter that go all to COP15 in December for discussions of climate change. Then what I'm saying is that's even important because this agenda being further now in CNM, and then now we are really dedicated a lot that we hire a person specialized just for transportation and traffic. And also we are bringing, because see, the concept in Brazil, in municipalities always have somebody responsible for traffic and transportation, but basically to monitor bylaws of signage and things like that. There is no concept of new mobility. But that should change. I tell you in the end, then I'm going to come talk about smart in Brazil. Then about this infrastructure piece, here comes the disparities in Brazilian public transportation. So as you can see, I have a pointer that's border ponton, but I forgot at home, and then I don't have a pointer. But I just pointed out here for you to see. In the left side here, this process of transportation, but look here. This subway station is a semi-subway that you see here. The difference is parts of the city. And what I'm saying is the decisions, how it's made. That subway system is one part of the city where is an affluent region in Brazil. And São Paulo specifically. This is a subway in São Paulo. This is a central piece in the rush hour because there's several levels in the subway system. But you see, this is for the poor part, going in the suburbs. But in that part, we can have, it's funny because here we have floors with rubber, the other one has granite. And see, what I'm talking about is decisions, this process of questioning how and how we involve. Because when you bring this agenda of transportation, you have to think about it, because transportation is all connected with poverty too. If you don't have accessibility, like due to poverty. And then that's the discussions about the transport systems. Brazil has a very poor system of transportation. The few railroads that we had is crumbling, and but as you can see, I have examples there of Curitiba that everybody hears about it. I don't know if the ones who have opportunity to be last night in the little 5 minutes are talking about it. We hear about Curitiba. Yes, it's fantastic things happen in Curitiba, but you saw last night the picture I was showing the citizens, residents of Curitiba, making bicycle lanes because the municipality is not doing bicycle lanes. You see, because also we have to understand what people's put priority, who's participating in those decisions process. Okay, thank you. Sorry about it. I got so passionate I started moving to the plane. But anyways, back to the talking about the infrastructure piece. Here's the good news. As you guys heard, we got the 2014 World Cup and the Olympics 2016. Yes, I was going to put a question mark in the end. This. Here's the good news. Thinking about it. It is good news or it's not good news? Okay. Here's the selected cities. As you can see, the population. And these are populations, those numbers. Are we talking about the core of the city? Remember, those cities have the graded part of the city, right? Which, like in São Paulo, we have close to 21 million. Then, when you talk about all those cities, and the World Cup will be played in these 12 cities. That means if you look in the map there, you can see some of those cities. It's a vast area. And to transport all those people that are going to be coming for the World Cup, it will be even worse than the Olympics. Because, and also from the neighboring countries that will be coming. Because, you know, soccer is a passion in Latin America. That means it's a big challenge. But the things that we want to talk about, here's some pictures for you to see. Some of the structures are existing, they'll be retrofitted, and some will be built from scratch.